I try to live by the mantra that success leaves clues, and that's for a good reason, because when others have already shown you the way, it's quicker, easier, and more inexpensive to take that playbook and just put your spin on it, rather than attempt to be completely original. And after all, business is a game that's measured in dollars rather than originality. So I spent most of my career looking to big businesses for inspiration so that I could try and apply their ideas to my own endeavors as a coach, both online and offline. And some of those ideas have worked great, like adopting a subscription-based model, having a range of more and less expensive services, and trying to create complementary products alongside my core offering. However, one big business trick that I've learned to hate with a passion as a coach is free trials. It just does not work in online coaching. And in this video, I'll tell you why and what I think you should be using instead. First, let's examine why it is that free trials are actually a good thing in the business world. Inherent in all buying behavior is the concept of perceived value relative to cost. Value being what you get, that's the benefit of the product or service. Cost being what you give up, that being time, money, energy, status, opportunity, any number of limited resources. The bigger the gap between those two, the easier the buying decision becomes. So naturally, we have to maximize the perceived value and minimize the perceived cost. And one of the easiest ways to maximize perceived value is to just let people experience the product or service for themselves, as it's much easier for them to believe their own senses rather than the marketing story that somebody else is telling to you. On the cost side of the equation, you can basically substitute in the word risk for cost. If you're open and honest about how much your product costs, how much time and effort it's going to take to consume, and so on, the biggest question mark is going to be about the potential wasted opportunity of doing business. So does it do what you said it was going to do? If yes, the risk or opportunity cost of your product or service is going to be a low one. And again, a super easy way to achieve that objective is to just let them try it for literally zero financial cost, free of charge, and let them experience it for themselves. So think about all the different ways that you've probably experienced this trick in your own consumer behavior. Test driving a car, free samples at Costco, handing out the first vial of heroin on the corner in The Wire, even fostering a puppy before your kids try and guilt you into fully adopting it. Businesses the world over use this tactic because it unequivocally works. Specific to subscription business models, which you should be using, see my other post for why, this is pretty much the playbook of every big business on earth. Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, even big box gyms like Planet Fitness and Gold's, they lead with a free trial into a paid subscription membership. Again, this is a smart move for a couple of different reasons. One is that consumers are rightly a little hesitant about subscription-based services, even when they're month to month. There's just something psychologically daunting about the ongoing commitment. So free trials are a great way of lowering the barrier to entry and mentally putting your customers at ease. The second is that when you're working with big enough numbers and deep enough pockets, it doesn't even matter if large numbers of your subscribers cancel within that trial period. You're still going to get some portion of them converted into paying subscribers, and over the course of months or years, they'll eventually turn a profit for you. Case in point, Netflix spends about $100 acquiring a customer and turns a profit after approximately 6 to 14 months on current pricing. For Amazon Prime, it's $160, which means that they're making money by year 2. For Planet Fitness, it's $47, and they're profitable by month 3. Now, interestingly enough, most Planet Fitness members only stay for 3 months, but that's another video for another day. Now, to be clear, this strategy works. Netflix acquired over 200 million subscribers this way. More than half of America has Amazon Prime, and both of these companies are part of the Magnificent Seven, which have basically kept the stock market alive for the last 5 years. And even Planet Fitness is worth more than $7 billion in enterprise value. But in my opinion, you should not be doing this as an online coach, and let me tell you why. In explaining this, we have to ask ourselves, why do free trials work so well for these big businesses? Well, the first is that when you sign up for a free trial, you immediately get the full benefit and experience of the product or service. If you sign up for Netflix, you can binge an entire season of House of Cards on day 1. If you sign up for Amazon Prime, you're going to get free 2-day deliveries that day. If you pick up that Costco free sample, you're going to get the full flavor and taste experience of it there and then. The second is that there's often a really sticky or unique aspect to the service that makes it hard to leave. With tons of the shows on Netflix, that's the only place that you can watch them. Nobody else is going to give you free 2-day deliveries besides Amazon. And even then, It costs them tens of billions of dollars a year to keep up that aspect of Prime. You're already at Costco when you eat the sample, so there's going to be a 99.9% chance that you're going to buy it from Costco rather than eat the sample, leave, and then go buy that food from another store. Thirdly, when that trial ends, there's no way for you to keep using or continue getting the benefit from whatever it is you're trying out. When you cancel Netflix, your access to their catalog of shows ends that day. When you cancel Prime, you're paying for shipping on your next order the very next day. When you walk out of Costco, the only way you're going to taste that food again is by paying for it. The fourth is that the people running these businesses have a lot of money to gamble on this strategy being effective. They're happy to spend billions of dollars a year acquiring customers with free trials and spend literally years losing money because it's going to pay off in the extreme long term. And besides, it's not their money. Either VC funds or public shareholders are going to be footing the bill in this case. Now let's contrast this to free trials in online training services. How long does it take the average customer to see results with online training? A few weeks, a few months even. It's probably not going to be 7 days, which is the typical duration of a free trial in the online world. Even if you extend it out to 30 days, that's still not enough time to really hook people on your service and keep them hanging around into month 2 and beyond. And with that free trial over 7 or 30 days, you're mentally suggesting to people that the results they're seeking will materialize within that trial period, and that's just not the case. Now you can kind of get away with it in brick and mortar gyms because there's a much stronger social component that just isn't there online. 2, if we're being honest, there is little to no differentiation or stickiness in online training. Go to the same niche and take the programs from the top 10 coaches in that area. I bet you there would be a ton of similarity and nearly all the differences between the programs would be superficial at best. Likewise in the results that they achieve for their clients. Any differentiation they're able to achieve is probably going to be the result of the level of service that they provide to their customers and any kind of community or group aspect they've been able to create, which again might be hard to get the full grasp of within 7 to 30 days. It just takes longer for those relationships and interactions to be formed. Thirdly, what happens when an online training trial ends? In most cases, they go back through every PDF or email you ever sent them and they start recycling the sessions again and again and again until they get bored. Even if you were smart enough to ring fence your intellectual property using a training platform, a lot of them will still log in and screenshot everything before they cancel. This is certainly not happening with Netflix or Amazon, but even in the regular brick and mortar gym business, all they can do is just stare through the window and try to replicate your sessions in the parking lot. There's no way for them to take that experience and keep enjoying it after they cancel. They can certainly do so with online training. 4, you do not have big tech money. The money's yours, it's limited, and when you do spend money on acquiring customers, you do so with the expectation of breaking even pretty quick. You cannot play the same game as a big tech company. And 5, with brick and mortar businesses like Planet Fitness and Costco, there's a level of shame that reduces the likelihood of people just signing up for back-to-back trials. This is not the case in online training. It happens all the time. It's very easy to do, and it's very annoying as the business owner. So this begs the question, what should you be doing to maximize conversions and lifetime value in online training? Well, the first is to lower the risk, but make them pay something. David Sachs, who is a member of the PayPal Mafia, has written about what he calls the $1 test. Even though the difference between free and spending $1 is tiny in financial terms, the gap between the two is massive in terms of psychology. The second you ask for any amount of money, the drop-off in people who will sign up is massive compared to a free trial. But that's actually a good thing. It means that you've identified your true likely customers as opposed to tire kickers who just want some free shit. And as a consequence, you'll likely spend a lot less money acquiring each customer, and you'll spend a lot less time handling the cancellations of people who are never going to buy your stuff anyway. Number 2, don't lead with a subscription. When we released our long-form course, Strength Coach Network Fundamentals 1 in 2021, it was at the time our most successful day in the business by far. And that was kind of puzzling because the course was only 20 hours long and it sold for $500. When you contrast that against our membership, which was about $30 a month and offered several hundred hours of material, a discussion forum with a few thousand threads, and a group component that the course was lacking, it should have been a no-brainer. The subscription offered way more stuff and value than the course, and they'd have to be inside that membership for almost 2 years before they had spent the same amount of money as with the course, but we had a much harder time converting people over to the subscription than selling the course. Looking back now, I believe the reason why this happened was that it was just a simpler, more defined commitment, which made it psychologically easier to digest with the course compared to the membership. And what I should have done from day one was use the course to convert people over to a subscription rather than the other way around, even though it was a higher priced item. Social Animal was $99. It's now completely free. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy of it, simply visit callmecare.com/social. But for now, please enjoy this video. And in fact, we ended up doing this in late 2022, which ended up being our most successful month ever within the business. The third is to restrict certain aspects or features to full paying members only. Whereas the Netflixes of the world can offer you the full customer experience on day one, I believe this model is just incompatible with online training, where customers are incentivized to scrape the shit out of your materials and run away into the night with as much as they can get their hands on. To combat this, I would treat the trial membership as a separate, lower level compared to full paid membership. I would give away enough in the trial to put customers at ease for sure and convince them about you and your service, but I would hold back the full list of features for those non-trialists. So for example, if you train bodybuilders, that might mean providing information on training only, but no discussion of drugs or nutrition or peaking. If you train athletes, that might mean warm up and speed work only, and then you hold back the rest for the full members. If you have a multi-phase approach to rehab, maybe they only get one phase, and so on and so on. Fourth, I would build higher barriers to exit into your offerings. Low barrier to entry, so that's easy to sign up for and start, and high barrier to exit, harder to cancel and leave, is the goal when it comes to building out your online training service. And one way to achieve this is with paid platforms like Train Heroic, who are not paying me, I just use it. That allows you to drip feed your materials by the week and only view the current week of training for your clients. And that makes it much more difficult, though admittedly not impossible, for your clients to scrape all your materials and cancel. It certainly does make it impossible for people to come in during a free trial period and go ahead in terms of what they're trying to scrape and effectively steal. Another tactic is to make the non-scrapable aspects of your service more and more a feature of what you do and part of your value proposition to prospective clients and customers. There might be little to nothing that you can do to stop people screenshotting workouts or diet recommendations, but you can't screenshot, for example, group interactions or great customer service. And admittedly, the first is hard to build and the second is hard to scale, but both will decrease churn within a subscription training business. And that is ultimately the problem that we're trying to solve in this video. As ever, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share, and comment to let the algorithm know. And if you have any additional topics that you'd like to see covered on this channel, let me know and I'll make another video and I'm happy to help. Thanks, talk to you soon. Thank you very much for watching that video. Daddy loves subscribers, so click here to subscribe. If you'd like to watch another video, you can do that by clicking here. See you soon.